for the fofo. This for the fofo. For the city in the back road, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the fofo, and let's go. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the fofo, chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewell got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin', and they really bout it. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them. Yeah, and kinda got flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. This for the fofo. This for the fofo. This for the fofo.
Welcome, everybody. Happy Monday after a long weekend full of tons and tons of great basketball, wrestling, you name it. It was going on this weekend. It was really a quite busy weekends from Friday evening on. And, you know, we got a chance to catch some really great basketball right here on the network, including heading over to the Geneva Spire, which is where I got a chance to go on Friday and Saturday, getting to watch this really, really phenomenal Spire basketball team right there in Geneva, Ohio, as the Ohio Prep Conference basketball tournament was taking off this weekend. It was really something to be seen. If you want to go back and check it out, it's all available right on ysnlive.com. You're going to look under the 440 and gold tab, as that's still all kind of getting updated with that sort of deal. But I'm telling you, if you are a fan of high quality basketball, that's where you want to go. It was really something to be seen last on Friday and Saturday. You've got guys who are going to be playing Division I football or Division I basketball at various programs throughout the country, really, and you know, able to get the job done. We saw some high flying dunks, guys who are able to really knock down shots very, very consistently. You know, in the biggest parts of the game. It was really incredible, including this gentleman now, who I'm going to replay his interview from this weekend, a young man by the name of Trey Atkin. He is a guy that you're going to get to see play at George Washington next year. You know, on Friday night, they play Spire's, the Spire Black team, which is their second team, and go down early. This young man able to hit some big shots back to back to back. Excuse me. Big shots back to back to back and bring them right back into the game. And he does the exact same thing on Saturday evening for that game time championship, hitting the game winner. Also some big time dunks and stuff like that. But first I want to replay the interview that I got with this young man right after the post game. Boy, were those guys celebrating in the locker room. After that, we're going to get into some more local stuff, you know, and talk about some of the local area wrestlers who are heading to state, as well as go over some of the other high school basketball scores. This is Sam Torres, 440 and the 440 Sports Show. Let's run this interview. All right, Sam Torres here from the 440 Sports Show. I'm here with the player of the game, possibly the player of the tournament, Trey Autry. Trey Autry from Syracuse, New York. You're going to get to see this young man playing some Division I basketball next year at George Washington.
Trey, you've been phenomenal the entire tournament. Yesterday in the game against Spire's other team, they awoke the dragon late in the game. You go out there, hit some big three-pointers. In this game, you hit the shot of the tournament with no time left on the shot clock. What has this tournament been like for you?
It's been amazing. Me and my teammates and my coaches, we put in a lot of time, a lot of work. We've been practicing for this tournament the whole year, even before the year started. So it means a lot to bring it home back to Western Reserve, and it just feels great to be a part of this with my teammates. It's my senior year, so to go out on top like that is really great, especially with people that I love.
As the point guard, they have to look to you to be the leader, and do you feel like some of that pressure falls on you when you guys are down? You got to hit the big shots or make the big plays.
Not necessarily pressure. I just feel like as a team, you know, even though I am the leader, we're all in this together. It's a cumulative game. So I feel like even though I'm the leader and we get down, they look to me, but I look back to them also because I need their help to be the leader that I am.
So what's a bigger part of the game, when you hit that game-winning shot at the end, or when Demarius Owens collects a body under the rim?
I think that body brings everything. That was the energy that we needed. That was the fuel. You know, we were battling in the second half. We went down a little bit, and you know, he's going to Marquette for a reason. So
he's a bad man.
He's a bad man. So for him to bring that energy, you know, that definitely fueled us, led us to the W.
I'll tell you what, he's a bad man, and so are you. Thanks so much. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Appreciate it.
All right, that was the player of the game and honest to goodness, he might be the player of the tournament. That kid was just really phenomenal to watch play basketball. He was a kid that you know, once you kind of lit that fuse in him, he really went over the top. And watching a point guard battle between him and Spire's Daniel Young was really just it was a treat, to be quite honest with you. This is the Ohio Prep Conference, the tournament that we were covering this weekend. Victor Academy, Don Prep. So these are going to all be out, not Ashtabula, but Ohio teams going to be playing in this. And this is guys who are a year. Some of the guys are a year post grad, getting ready, you know, kind of for that in between year. Some of these are schools that don't take part in the OHSAA. Like Western Reserve. Western Reserve had quite a few seniors on their team. They actually had a couple guys who weren't even seniors yet playing basketball for them. Spire initially takes on Friday. They take on Flight Academy from Dayton. A lot of Division I basketball players right there. ISA, that's right there in Willoughby. It's really fun basketball to kind of check out. If you've ever got a chance, you know, pay attention to Spire's calendar, because there's some really big events going on right there in that facility, including the Big Ten Indoor Track Championships that were happening last weekend. You know, so you're talking world-class athletes right here in Ashtabula County, and the old adage goes that iron sharpens iron. So if you are an athlete from this area, trying to get better, trying to see what it takes to play on the next level, trying to see what parts of your game are missing. You know, there's no better place. There is no better place to check that out than right there at Spire. They also have some next level training services that they do. And they've got some events that are coming up this year, including maybe a big event that we're going to talk about at some point. But it was really a super fun, a fun weekend of basketball, including this right here, the coup de grace. I think, you know, one of the things I love about basketball is I love a good dunk. I love a good dunk, and I love watching athletic players do the job. And I've covered basketball for the last 3 years, and this dunk right here may be the best dunk that I've seen in game.
Here's Owens, fall on the defense. Oh my goodness! Somebody call the police. I just saw an assault. That man went way up in the air off the dribble. Demarius Owens. Sheesh.
Yeah, that was Demarius Owens. You're going to get to see that young man next year playing at Marquette. He stands at about 6'8", 6'6", or 6'7". Right off the dribble, goes in there, lays the hammer down, like the kids say today. I'm on your head, boy. I mean, he's right there right now getting a big time dunk. That wasn't even his first dunk of the tournament. That guy was a high flyer from Western Reserve, going against a very talented Spire national team. This Spire national team has been able to get it done on the largest scale all year long. All right, so that was the OPC Spire tournament. You're going to be able to see that replay right over on www.ysnlive.com. That as well as, all of our replays are going to be right there. But let's head over to the YSN scoreboard. If you need scores, head over to www.ysnlive.com/scores. And that's going to be the most up-to-date and accurate scores from all of the 60 plus, almost 70 schools here in the YSN family. And we'll bring that up now. For girls basketball, Springfield punching their ticket to Dayton as they win 34-28 over Buckeye Central. There was only one left, and then there was one here at YSN. That is the final school left moving when it comes to the basketball season. Springfield heading down to Dayton after a big-time win over Buckeye Central. Moving over to Ursuline, I think this one right here has got to be my surprise of the weekend. Ursuline, 68, Gilmore Academy, 74. Gilmore Academy, who I knew was going to, I thought could be in a very close game with Ursuline. I didn't necessarily think that they were going to have the roster, the gameplay to be able to actually beat Ursuline. I thought Ursuline was in the zone this year with Pankey and Payne and all of those, and Flauto and all those guys that are giving the Ursuline a huge push, where Gilmore Academy really relied heavily on guys like Rose and Moulton. I wasn't sure that they were going to have enough to kind of get over that hill for Ursuline, but I was wrong, and not that that's a new thing here. Gilmore Academy progressing. They are the district champion this year. Nordonia, 44. Archbishop Hoban, 58. And when I said there's only one, that I meant the girls. We got a couple boys, but girls are the final team playing still. Archbishop Hoban, 58. Hoban is that's another program that's next level basketball. They're kind of next level in athletics, really, if you think about it. It's a team that lost in the state championship, also in the football. I talked about in another show last week how if you've got these high level football players, it's more surprising to not have a good basketball team than I think the other. And then Cheney gets redemption over Canfield, 44-36. That was a game that had been played in the regular season with Canfield getting the best of Cheney. Cheney last year makes a run into the tournament and has some tough luck, can't get past the district level. And this year they're getting one better as they're getting ready to punch their ticket to Dayton as well. East Liverpool, 51, and Marysville, 72. So that's going to end the year for the Potters, who had a really phenomenal year themselves. Congratulations to all of the basketball teams that are continuing to play still. All of our guys and girls who are going to be making that long trip to Dayton and, competing for state championship at this level. It's high level basketball, and all of those nights shooting late in the gym and doing those extra line drills and stuff like that are really starting to pay off here as everybody else is turning in their uniforms, but you are still getting to play. I'm going to go to a quick break here, and when we come back, we're going to talk about some wrestling as well as a couple big-time events that are going to be coming up right here on the network. But first, let's talk to a couple of our sponsors, including Toyota of Warren.
We believe expectations are made to be exceeded. At the new Toyota of Warren, it's about more than just getting a great deal. It's about service you can count on and a friendship you can trust. Year after year, we've done what we do best. We've gone the extra mile so you could too. Because we know it's just not about buying a new car. It's the start of a new adventure. Toyota of Warren, driven by you.
21 News delivers the news as it happens, using the latest technology from where it happens.
Live here outside the Mahoney County.
On air, online,
Wednesday afternoon weather update.
Very dangerous.
and on the 21 News social media platforms.
I'm on the road right now.
21 News, the Valley's only locally owned source for trusted news since 1953.
As fine as the eye can see, the finest hardwoods from the finest trees. Made for your home and within your means, Baird Brothers will help fulfill your dreams. Let life and light come shining through in quiet morns. And heavy traffic, too. Find your easy-to-afford fine hardwood floors and doors and more at BairdBrothers.com.
Every customer has a story, and at Greenwood Chevrolet, we are committed to making sure it ends with you in the right vehicle. I get to be part of somebody's adventure, whether it's buying a car for the first time, helping them get approved, or finding the perfect car for their budget. I'm proud that people trust me with their finances. They trust me to take care of them, and they trust me with their story. I'm Tracy, and I'm ready to go the extra mile for you, only at Greenwood Chevrolet.
All right, welcome back to the 440 Sports Show. My name is Sam Torres. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about some wrestling. There was a lot of wrestling going on this weekend. A lot of schools sending a lot of wrestlers, including a couple of young ladies in Nevaeh Hibbard, who is going to make it down to the district level into the consolation bracket, and Molly Rozalski being from Conneaut, she's making her first ever state tournament bid in the girls wrestling division. So I really want to send a huge congratulations out to those two young ladies. Female wrestling is a newer, not a newer sport, but it's definitely a newer sport here in Ohio. Not something that you've seen a ton of, hasn't garnered a ton of attention. But these young ladies train and work as hard as anybody out here. And because of all their hard work, they're going to get a chance to head down to Columbus and wrestle some of the best in their divisions. I also want to send a shout out to a couple of the boy wrestlers who are heading down that way right now. I just want to jump out ahead of this. I do my very best to try and get this stuff reported as it's reported to me. It's very, very difficult to keep up on all those scores and that sort of thing. Some parents, some schools are pretty good about sending me updates. This kid won, he's heading to states. And I say all that to say, if I didn't mention you or your son or your daughter or your school in this next little piece, it's because I don't have the information. If I have that information, you can bet your bottom dollar I'm going to get it out there, because I want to give flowers to all these young people as they've earned them. But let's start off with Conneaut's Amari Bowers and Darren Christine. A second congratulations going to Darren Christine as he gets his 100th win in high school this weekend at the tournament. And what a stage to do that on. These two young men are going to be heading down to Columbus for their championships. Edgewood's Kyle Venzel heading down to Columbus. He's going to get a bid down there at the state level. Jefferson Brogenfeld and my boy Mason Pulowski making a run down there as well. Mason Pulowski, for those of you who do not know, he was a big part of their football team. This is a young man who just he just committed to Capital University to play football, and what an excellent football player they have gotten there. It's just it's great to see these kids go out there and succeed in multiple sports. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of kids get tied up in, the single sport mentality. And we've talked about that before on this show about how important, and I'm no athletic director. I'm not a high level coach, anything like that. This is just I'm just somebody who watches and watches from afar, calls and follows these kids' careers. But one thing I've seen over the past 3 years and the years prior, also making the state tournament as well. I apologize, I did miss one from Edgewood. Zeke Lucas, he's going to be heading there. Zeke Lucas, another big time part of that football team as well. I think I'll tell you what, if you've ever seen somebody who looks like a wrestler, it's Ezekiel Lucas from Edgewood High School. This kid is I don't know that there's any part of his body that doesn't have a muscle. This kid is a real big kid. He's super strong, but he's heading down there to this big tournament. And as those results come in, the one I am not confused, but the one I am wondering about, there's a young man out of PV as well who went into the tournament as like the 15th ranked wrestler in the state. I haven't gotten a chance to see what what ended up happening with him this weekend. I did get an update. Kyle Venzel is an alternate for the tournament, so he has I guess a shot is the way that goes. I'm still becoming I'm very much becoming acquainted to the wrestling down at that level. I wrestled a little bit when I was in high school, but I never I darn sure never got past into the tournament. I was never that good. These kids, that's why I know how hard these kids have to work to get where they're going. Oh, you know what? And I just got another message from somebody, another parent. Want to talk about just another shout out there. And that's actually a great point about Edgewood's coach, Scott Blank. Scott Blank bringing 5 kids down to the state level this year. And for those of you who don't know, he's a first year, he's not a first year coach. Let me take that back. He's far from a first year coach. He is a first year coach at Edgewood. Scott Blank has been true to this game for as long as I can remember. If you remember when St. John had that big time run a couple years ago when they had more guys on the podium than they seemingly did in their school, that was coached under Scott Blank as well. So when it comes to coaching ability, I want to send a shout out to Coach Blank because the guy's elite. I mean, that guy really gets the best out of his wrestlers, and it gets proven time after time, year after year, when they get to this highly competitive time of year. So he gets the first year coach and gets five of his wrestlers down there. That's nothing short of impressive. So shout out to him as well. Like I said, I'm gonna have to continue to do some more research. I want to see how the kid from PV did, and some of the other kids, and but those are the ones I know. Kyle Venzel, an alternate. Lucas coming in 4th place. He's going to get a shot at it. Mason Pulowski, Brogan Feld from Jefferson, Amari Bowers and Darren Christine from Conneaut, as well as Molly Rozalski, who is going to be in the female division. So congratulations to all you guys. Maybe tomorrow I'll get some more information on weight classes and that sort of thing, and we'll put that out there. I'm going to do my very best to try and pump up some wrestling right here on the 440 Sports Show. But we're going to transition from wrestling into some of the events that are coming up. And the first one coming up is the one you're going to see us at tomorrow, baby. March 7th over at Edgewood High School. We're going to have the Senior Classic. Seniors from every school in the county going to be there. Really excited about this one because of the three-point contest. Taking part in the three-point contest for Geneva, Kaylee Williams, Cora Zalai from Conneaut, Elena Nesparenko from PV, Colleen Anderson from St. John, Tamor Hoskin from Lakeside, Carly James from Grand Valley, Malinka Moody from Jefferson, Casey Kanicki from Edgewood, taking part in that, the three-point contest for girls. Going over the three-point contest for the boys, Zach Venzel from Edgewood, Nathan Croston from Conneaut, Grant Hitchcock from Jefferson, Jimmy Severino from St. John, Deshaun Williams from Lakeside, Landon Spencer from Grand Valley, Anthony Kasichik from Geneva, and John Michelle from PV. So 8 spots in the three-point contest, and 8 different schools taking part in that one. It's really a fun event. It's going to be broadcasted right here on ysnlive.com. Really looking forward to getting that one out there. It's become an event that I love to cover. I'll be honest with you. You get all the seniors out there. For a lot of these kids, it's going to be their last hurrah, the last time they're going to lace up the sneakers, because not everybody plays college basketball. So you're going to get to see these kids go out there, play the game. I said last week, I'm putting the challenge out there again to Lakeside's Jamil Haynes. Jamil Haynes is a kid who can dunk that ball. He's caught a couple bodies this year during the regular season. Even though Lakeside had a tough year, he found a way to keep it exciting and have fun out there. So the challenge is out, Jamil. I need you to dunk that thing in the middle of the game. And if you catch a body, even better. I know you're going to have some competition out there because the boys roster's got a lot of guys who can get up there and go. I know for a fact Kasichik can dunk the ball too. We caught that right here on the network. Tyler Britton can dunk. He's about a 6'70" guy. He's a guy who can dunk. I think you got a couple dunkers, but one of the things I think you're going to see big time in the boys game is they've got some absolute lights out sharpshooters playing in this game. So I think you're going to see a lot of 3-pointers getting knocked down. They've got some guys who can really handle the rock, guys who are super, super fast. It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game to watch. Same thing over on the girls' side. The girls have got some girls who can really shoot the ball incredibly well, including, Casey Kanicki is obviously one that is going to stick out in my head because she's one of the best scorers I've ever seen. But, outside of her, you've got girls like Carly James, I know from Grand Valley. We've covered them a few times as well. She can really shoot the ball incredibly well. Elena Nesparenko is a big time scorer for PV. Kaylee Williams did a great job for Geneva this year. I'm really looking for Eva Oster led St. John's rebounding this year. Malinka Moody, I believe, was Jefferson's number 1 scorer for the girls this year too. So there's going to be some big time plays in this game, and it makes it all the more fun. So here we go. 5 kids qualified for the state tournament. Conneaut's 2, and Jefferson's 2, and Edgewood 1. So I think that's a pretty good number here. As I was talking about earlier, I think that's a pretty good number for our wrestlers to get 5 there. It's funny because people talk about Ashtabula County, how it's the biggest county. It's one of the biggest counties by land mass, but we're nowhere near there on population. So we are a grouping of a bunch of smaller schools with a lot of area to practice, I guess is how I would call it. But I want to jump into another event that's coming up on the 25th. I'm super excited about this one, folks. Over on March 25th at the Begley Center in YSU. It's the YSN All-Star Game, the 2023 version. For the first time, we're going to have representation from all of the 7 Ashtabula County schools who are a part of the YSN family. This one is going to be a big one, folks. You've got 60-plus schools all sending their all-stars. When you talk about the best of the best, this is it. This is going to be the best basketball player in Ohio, in Northeast Ohio. The best basketball play in Northeast Ohio. You're going to see it right there at the Begley Center. I'm going to get the distinct privilege of calling this game, calling the boys' game with my good friend Ty Bartell. Ty Bartell is one of the best in the business as well. I've gotten a chance to call games with him when we went out to Vegas. He calls a lot of Fitch stuff. He's just a really fun guy to listen to. So I think when you get him and me both together on the broadcast, it's going to be a whole lot of fun, especially when you've got kids at this level playing basketball. I mean, this is some of the best of the best. You know, we talked about high flyers, long shooters, the guys who essentially have a yo-yo in their hand when they're dribbling the basketball. You're going to get to see all of that. And Ashtabula, we're going to be right in the mix. We've got some of our best playing in that ball game right now. I've got a list, but I'm waiting for confirmations from some of these kids before I announce them. Announce their presence at this game. I do know that invites and emails have been sent out. And the cool thing about this is not senior dependent. This is a game where whoever the best on your team is, if it's a freshman, they're going to be out there. They're going to get a chance to play the game that year, this year. So it's something that I'm really looking forward to being a part of and bring here right back to Ashtabula. We're going to have some kids who are going to have a chance to watch it. Now, if you're going to go to the game, awesome. It's at the Begley Center. I'm going to run that right on the screen again. Here is the address, and that's also available on all of the social medias that you see at that side of the screen, okay? If you cannot make the game, though, it's going to be live streamed right on ysnlive.com, and you'll be able to watch the whole game there. I do believe it's free. Because there's no OHSA charge for this one, so it'll be a free one. And this will legitimately be the last basketball deal that we have for this year. That's going to be the last one on the YSN platform, because we're heading into baseball season already, which is absolutely insane to me. Tomorrow I'm going to do a little bit more on baseball, as we've got some teams that are really good. I talked a little bit about last week, but I want to talk about some of the other guys as well. Guys who reaching out to coaches and stuff like that. They're giving me guys that they're expecting big years from this year in baseball as well as softball. I'm curious to see, how the softball season is going to go, because, one of the interesting stories is Randy Venzel, who, to me, I think is definitely coach of the year material in basketball this year because of everything that he's done with that team. Is also a softball coach over at Edgewood too. So it'll be interesting to see if any of that stuff kind of transitions over there as well. I know that St. John softball this year, keep your eyes on them. They are going to be very good. Some of the other teams we're going to get to know here a little bit soon, but baseball and softball coverage going to increase this year. We're going to do our best to try and get at least 1 or 2 games out to you a week from this area. So it's going to be a fun year. It's going to be a fun year. I can't believe we're talking baseball already. It's crazy to me. It feels like we just stopped the football. I feel like we were just down in Canton a couple weeks ago. But that's going to do it for today's show. And we'll be back tomorrow. We're going to get some more details on these the 5 wrestlers from Ashtabula County who are going to be heading down to Columbus to wrestle and get into some baseball talk, and you never know. We may go off the cuff and talk a little bit of stuff outside of high school sports. We'll see. All right, guys, we'll talk to you guys soon. Thanks so much for joining. Sam Torres, the 440 Sports Show. See you tomorrow morning.
This for the football. This for the football. For the city and the back roads, got a whole county full of them ghosts. All from the football. Hey, it's just for Beulah County. Yeah, right on your head like a bounty. Said I'm from Beulah, they know I'm from Beulah, so let me just go talk about my surroundings. Shout out them Eagles that's out in Geneva, them Lakers, oh yeah, that's Palmerton and Valley. We from the football chasing these goals. If you in the way, you get taken out proudly. And Jefferson soaring with Falcon. Said that you working, you ain't really working. You see that we working, our hands got a callus. Putting in reps till we moving some mountains. Edgewood got warriors, they won't allow it. Me, I bleed green and gold, they know defeating those dragons who run the whole city. You wildin'. And they really bout it, yeah. And next we gon' go to Grand Valley. Work like a horse and don't show no remorse. So opponents keep coming, we stack them and pile them, yeah. And Connie, I flooded with Spartans. As soon as they pull up on game day, we park them. Cause we number one in that spot, ain't a bargain. Man, shout out St. John, they be ballin' like Harden. Switch for the football.